Well, the first thing is that everything is led by God.
Right.
The Holy Spirit. I'm just a vessel that God is using. And I believe that with the prophetic gifts that I'm now recognizing that He has given me, that women who come to me, there's no sugar coating or cookie cutter way of really helping a woman find their purpose.
Yes.
And every woman is coming at a different place.
That's good.
Some women are having issues with rejection or, just shame or self-confidence.
Hey there, you guys. This is yours truly, PE, Pastor Erica. I know. You see the SWAT?
Yes.
The switch up here. This is a hijacking. It is a divine swap.
Yes.
I'm taking over her podcast for a day because we need to know the girl herself. We need to know the woman behind the empowering the woman. And so I'm privileged, by the way, to be here with none other than our podcast host, who is the person I get to interview. I'm interviewing the interviewer today. And so it's going to be a whole lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I don't know what I'm going to say because she's the professional interviewer. However, I want you to tune in and share this thing with somebody because it's about to get really juicy, okay?
Oh boy.
So with that said, I want to delve right into getting to know our podcast host.
All right.
Yeah. Getting to know you. Look, why am I in Mary Poppins? I don't know.
She's been singing Mary Poppins right before we started. So
I told you it was going to be a little humorous because it is a hijacking.
She is hijacking.
So, are you ready for this thing?
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm ready, but I'll be ready.
So I love everything about your network, everything about what you do, the idea of empowering women.
Right.
And so, but we want to know the woman behind the brand.
Okay.
Who are you behind the brand? Where did you grow up? Because you have an accent, and everybody, everybody knows it. You don't sound like you're from the States.
Oh no, I am definitely not from the States. I am from Jamaica, the beautiful island of Jamaica. Proudly Jamaican. I have traveled to the U.S. a few times, and I moved in 2015 here. So I've been in the United States for 8 years, going nine years.
Where you have siblings, do you have siblings?
I do. So my siblings are in Jamaica. My two brothers are in Jamaica, and I have a brother that's in Dallas.
So what I do know about you is you have a beloved son named Jaden.
I absolutely do.
Tell us about him.
Oh my goodness. That little boy changed my life. He changed everything about where I was going. And, I had my own plans on where I should be. I was on that career path. I was just finishing up my MBA. And so when I found out that I was pregnant, it was whilst doing an interview for a job in the US. And so right before the interview, I did the test, found out I was pregnant. And that shook my world, of course. But I did get the opportunity to do the interview. I got the job.
Come on.
And then I had to go home and think about the next steps. So he was a surprise baby, but a good baby that really transformed my life. Thus having him, has gave me new purpose.
Right.
Renewed every single thing in me. All the childish things.
I love it.
Just went away because now I was responsible for not just myself, but for another human being.
He was a blessing you didn't know you needed. Huh?
Absolutely. He was.
I can see, because we've talked, and I get to hear the way you talk about him and your world light up. And I know you've been missing him so much being in the States, empowering us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I know that you are a business coach. And how does the business coaching go hand in hand with the purpose coaching?
Well,
where do they intersect?
Well, they intersect because as an entrepreneur myself, I believe that we we should be able to earn our own money. We should dictate what we're worth. I mean, doing a 9 to 5, you really don't get paid what you're truly worth.
Right.
Who can pay you what you're worth, right?
Right.
You get a dollar amount that the employer says, hey, that's what I'm going to pay you for doing this job. And so I've always had an entrepreneurial mind, really focused on just doing something bigger.
Right.
Than just working for someone else. And so for me, business has always been a part of that. And I believe that helps to bring in more resources. It helps to build communities. It helps to build families. Yes. And it helps to build empires as well. And the purpose coach / business coach, how that intersects is really in finding my calling. I started to find true purpose.
Oh, wow.
I started to live intentionally in just everything that I do. Everything that I do makes more sense. It's almost like you've lived your life, half of your life, walking the road that you think you should be on.
Come on.
And not having that happiness. There's just like that piece that's missing, you know? And it took me a while to get to the point where I found my calling. And I still believe that God is developing that. It's not, it's not written where it's just one thing.
Right.
There's so many things that he has just really given me vision for. But the greatest thing is walking in purpose and knowing where you should be and how to use your gifts.
I like that. I actually love that. You were saying, because you kind of segued where I was going to ask you a question. You said knowing where you should be. So I guess that's why the merger of you being both business and purpose coach, because
yes,
I can see that happening, because first of all, you can't thrive where you don't belong.
Exactly.
Or you can, well, like my husband say, it's a sad day when you succeed in the wrong assignment.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, where you become a nurse and you're supposed to be something else.
Oh yes.
Right.
A lot of us are doing that.
So do you help people kind of steer? Let's just say I was a person who was in my career for a long time. Naturally, I love marketing, and naturally, I love empowering women and doing what I do. But let's just say I went to medical school. God, that's so far-fetched from what I Let's just say I went to medical school and I am headed down the road to be a doctor, and I'm in these circles, and I come to you as a business coach and say, hey, I just feel something. Would you try to help me be comfortable and nestle in where I'm headed in that track? Or how would you go about helping me to discover whether or not I'm in the right place?
Well, the first thing is that everything is led by God,
right?
The Holy Spirit. I am just a vessel that God is using. And I believe that with the prophetic gifts that I'm now recognizing that he has given me, that women who come to me, there's no sugar coating or cookie cutter way of really helping a woman find their purpose. Yes. And every woman is coming at a different place. Some women are having issues with rejection or, just shame or self-confidence. And some persons are walking in something already attached to their ultimate goal of purpose.
Yes.
And so I don't really try to change anyone's direction at first. My whole point is to get to know them.
That's good.
Have that conversation, talk about faith, because that's a big part of me finding my calling. And I do everything in that realm. And so anyone that I talk to, I definitely, start by building that relationship and that trust, and just really segueing into the areas that I believe is a focus for that person. Everyone has, as I said, a different area that is their focus point. Some people are in their calling, but they don't understand how to use that gift or that calling to use it on a bigger platform or a bigger stage or for bigger impact. And I think that's what a lot of us are lacking, is not understanding the power behind our gifts. And I really, love to have conversations with women just to see, pull that out of them. Yeah. It's already there. I mean, I don't tell people what to do. I help bring that out. That's already within them. And as I said, it's just different ways. But my main thing is coaching and talking and building that relationship. And of course, I do have resources and tools that I use for each client depending on what their needs are.
Well, you're great at probing. I'm gonna tell you, and helping people come to a self-discovery. And so if you're not a part of her network, you need to be. Listen to me. You need to sit down and have a conversation. When I first met Raydeen, she had 1,000,001 right questions for me.
Right.
You heard me? I said right.
Right. Yep.
Right questions, because some of the questions helped me to navigate deeply. I was able to answer them, but good thing I thought through that. But if you hadn't thought through it,
Right.
you will cause them to start probing and thinking about their own, being self-aware,
Correct.
aware of themselves.
Yep.
So what was your defining moment, and when everything shifted for you?
Wow. So my defining moment is loaded. It's compacted. So I'll do
Get
my
it.
best to kind of give you a little of the tea without giving you too much of the tea here, because that will take up the whole podcast.
Right.
But my defining moment started in 2019. 2019 was a time that I was going through a lot. I was married. I've been away from my son at that point for maybe a year or two.
Wow.
And so, everything for me wasn't going as planned. And I'm a big planner, so I'm always thinking ahead about how things should be. But the Lord had different plans for me. He messed up everything that I was planning. Everything I thought about doing, he brought chaos, he brought pain. And I don't look at pain as a bad thing. I think we have to go through pain to define what our purpose is.
Right.
And so 2019 was when I really, truly went after knowing who God is. I've always been going to churches.
I like that.
I've gone to churches. I've done the whole thing. I used to sit in church, but I didn't truly understand what knowing God meant until 2019, when I truly needed him. He made it in such a way that I had no choice but to call on him. It was that or me losing my mind and just not knowing myself. And so I had to lean on him. And so that was the pivotal change for me. And my life changed in that moment. I came out of a relationship that I had no business being in as well. And so I was healing. I needed to heal. I needed to reset.
Come on.
And and so I went on a journey of self-discovery, of knowing God, of building that relationship, listening to God, hearing his voice so clear in my head, talking me through, coaching me through the things, the mishaps, the disappointments, the rejection, the fear, every single thing that, would have brought me to the point that I was at. And so that change and defining my purpose started to come into focus because of that relationship. When you can hear from God, he downloads so much to you.
Yes, he does.
Revelation, revelation after revelation, like he just gives you strategy. He gives you the tools to succeed in life when you lean on him and not on your own understanding. And so for me, that was just so different, and I wanted more. I wanted more.
I can see the segue of purpose and business, because you said something about when you in 19 that you started leaning in God, and I want to say that you got an epiphany about who you were in the Lord, which also birthed strategy. I can see the merger of that. So is it safe to say that in 19, is that when Empowered Woman of God came?
Oh, wow. No, definitely not. I didn't even know. So in 2019, that was my start to really seeking God out. But 2020, when the pandemic hit, my job told us, hey, we got to let you guys go home for a little until we figure out what's going on.
Right.
But prior to that, I had a friend in Jamaica who would message me in my inbox on LinkedIn asking me about mentorship. I don't even remember the whole message, to be honest. The only thing that stood out for me was the word mentorship. And I just reached out to her. And so we were going through a process of learning about the business that she was in, and just really learning more and being around people that were like-minded. And I prayed about it as well. And so I asked God for something different, because I was doing my own business, but it wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. And I felt like I was failing. And so I wanted mentorship. And so when she said that, all I saw, I joke with her every time. I said, I don't even remember what that message was about. I just saw the word mentorship, and that was it. And so we connected, and we started going through the process. And so I launched a business, an online business in 2020, right during the pandemic.
Okay, I wouldn't have known it.
Yes.
I'm glad we're probing in your business.
Yes.
So you launched a business. What kind of business?
So it's an online retail store. This is affiliated. It's affiliated marketing, really.
Right.
And so you go through a company that definitely helps to support whatever products or services that you may need, but you are able to branch out and create your own.
Oh, I like that.
Your own business sense. And so that gave me a boost. But the biggest thing for me out of that opportunity was mentorship. I didn't understand the value of having a mentor until I did that business.
Oh, very good.
So I learned a lot as I went through that process. And in that process, I met a lot of people who I would talk to about the business. And what I found out was I was connecting with a lot of women.
Come on.
And the women would just start telling me stuff about their life. And we were connecting and relating to a lot of things. And I was like, God, what's going on here? I'm trying to talk to them about business, but I feel like the conversation is going in another direction. And so, with my relationship with God getting stronger, I was able to just talk to him. I'm like, God, what are you trying to do here? What is a message? Because you're bringing me these women, and these women have issues, and they're issues that I can relate to, and I understand their pain, their struggle.
Right.
And so it just really started with me just talking to women and encouraging them, and then having women say, hey, that helped me, what you did, you said, you shared this. And I was like, okay, God, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And so, as I always say, your calling is not defined by just one single thing. It's just you understanding your gifts, what you have power to do, and using that power. And it can be in so many different ways.
Yeah. So I'm really, let me tell you this. I'm doing a hijacking, and it is really good because I'm a better interviewer than I thought I was.
Yes, she is. Give her credit.
Digging. Where's my shovel? Okay, can we go deeper?
All right, let's go.
I am in this thing. So we kind of talked about where is the birthing place of Empowered Woman? You said when you started meeting women, but what year? And so that it became solid for you.
Well, it became solid for me. So 2020, I launched the business. Business was going great, fantastic, meeting lots of people. Business was really booming. And in 2022, the Lord just shifted some things in the business because I was getting too excited about the business and not really focusing on anything else.
Oh boy, that happens.
And so I was caught up. And just a series of events caused me to ask God, because when I did the business, I prayed about it. I'd ask God, like, is this something that I should go into? And I got my confirmation. So when this started happening, where the business started to go in a different direction, which wasn't in a good way, I was just starting to question everything, like, what's going on?
Right.
And so I was in a season of not knowing, not understanding what God was doing, because he was trying to shake me up. He was trying to wake me up and take me out of my stupor, because I was just sitting in one thing, in that one thing. And he uses the different steps in your journey to push you to the next level.
Yes.
And he was trying to talk to me about the next level, but I wasn't trying to hear that because I was good right here.
Yes.
I found a comfortable space that I was thriving. I felt good. I had positive people around me. I was doing well. So at that point, that started to happen. And I also I moved to Houston. Okay. So fast forward 2023. So 2022, the business started to go a little sideways. 2023, in May, I moved to Houston.
And that's what I was about to ask you. How did we get you here in Houston?
Wow, Houston.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to delve back into that in a minute. We're going to have a short break, and we will be right back.
All right.
Everybody, we're back with this hijacking podcast. I like to call it that. I could call it that for this segment because I get to sit in the boss's seat.
She's doing a very good job, by the way.
I'm shoveling out everything you want to know. And if you have any questions and things that we have not addressed about the host, please feel free to drop it below or drop it in the comment or something like that. We ask your questions. In fact, the link should be available where you can connect with her.
All
So here it is.
Yes. So
Houston. I wanted to talk about how did we get you here in Houston? And, you know, how did all of the move happen to Houston? And where were you before then?
all right. So the move to Houston, I was in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Ooh.
That's where I was for most of the time here. I've
Hence-
only been in Houston for a year and a half.
Hence
About-
the cups?
Hence the cup. This is my little memorabilia.
Look, this is all
Florida.
her setup, you know. So I was like, this is why we got a flamingo.
Yeah, we
in
got some
Florida.
flamingos. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So for me, the move to Houston really was and is a God move.
Okay.
2021, I was working in Boston, Massachusetts. I was working at a hotel during the pandemic, and I remember vividly having a dream of being in my apartment in Florida, very empty, standing around, and that was all I got. And I was like, God, what does that mean? Didn't get a response right away. I put that to the back of my mind. But when I went home in 2022, this is when everything started to go the opposite way, sideways. When I walked through those doors for the very first time in the entire time living there, which was 8 years, that place didn't feel like home.
Oh, wow.
Everything in the space was it just felt annoying. I didn't feel comfortable there anymore.
Wow.
And so I recall that dream that I had with God showing me standing in the apartment. And then for me, the realization came in that God wanted me to move. And so I took a little bit of time to get there because I did not move. I moved really pretty quickly. And so my question was where to move to. I'm like, God, you want me to move? I went to Georgia, spent some time with my aunt thinking that Georgia was a place because I love Georgia.
Right.
And that didn't feel like home either. And so I was like, God, what's going on? You want me to move, but I don't know where.
Right.
I don't know where. And so I was getting real frustrated being in Florida. Everything was just changing. It wasn't the scene for me anymore.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
And so I got a call one day from a friend who I knew of living in New Jersey.
Okay.
And that conversation led to him telling me, why don't you come to Texas? You know, and I was like, Texas? Now, mind you, before that, I've been hearing about Texas before, but I didn't pay it any attention. And so after that conversation, I really felt like it was a divine calling when he said that. Something happened, something shifted in the car when he said that. And so I landed on that, and I just really asked God, I'm like, God, Houston. I said, Texas is it, right? And then I still needed more confirmation because I still wasn't sure because I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone in Texas. Like,
family.
Well, no family. Like, why are you going to Texas? And I was like, God, you need to confirm this if it's Texas. And every day I would drive on the road, there was something, Texas, license plates, ads, commercials, whatever I was watching or seeing visually, it was just Texas. And I said, okay, God, I heard you, Texas. And so I moved here in May 2023. I made the move here. Well, prior to that, I had gotten a prophetic word in January of that same year that this was my reset season.
Come on.
The bishop, he told me that, called me way out. I hate being in front of anybody. And he called me out and he said, I got a word for you. And it's a word that this is your reset. God has seen your tears. He's seen every single thing that you've been praying for. But he's bringing you in a season of reset. And in the next couple of days or so, you'll know what you need to do. And that was a phone call which segued into Houston, and here I am.
And I could have been the reason why you came to Houston because
and also
the Lord sent me before you did, and I guess He set me up to be here. I'm just messing. I'm just messing with you. But real talk. Sometimes your destiny helpers are in a primary spot.
Oh yeah,
right. And so sometimes God has sent your answers before you.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You have to arrive.
Absolutely.
And like some of the people, you've arrived here, and some of the people who are probably watching or listening to the podcast right now hear your voice and they will arrive.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I was thinking about all of this moving, and purpose and destiny and your calling and all that, what are your centralized focus? What's your primary focus right now?
Well, my primary focus is really building up the brand Empowered Women of God. I believe that there's a lot of different platforms for this. And so one of the things that I've been doing is I've been writing journals. Now, journals were my therapy through the whole process of the self-discovery, healing, and overcoming a few limitations that I put on myself, self-sabotaging myself.
Right.
And so, one of the things that I've created to help women is journals. Writing is very therapeutic. I know there's a lot of people like, I don't write, but I believe everything that I've written thus far, and I still keep my vision board. I write everything down because I believe in the power of speaking over what it is that you want.
That's good.
And I have actually seen a few of those things come to fruition. This podcast was something I wrote down.
Come on, I love it.
And so here I am now doing the podcast. So there's power in what we believe. And I believe the more that we write it, it's repetition for us to really just keep remembering why we're doing what we're doing. It keeps us grounded. It keeps us focused. And so journaling also helps you to track your growth.
Yes, absolutely.
Your process, your journey, your writing changes, your thoughts change, your mindset, the connections, that's the space that you're in changes over a period of time. And so, my journals, I have a prayer warrior journal because I had to pray a lot during my season. And I still, am praying a lot here. Spiritual affirmations. I had to use the word of God to keep me moving in the way that I am right now. Dear future husband.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Wait
that
a minute.
Is one.
A lot of people want to see that. What is that about? Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah, that is for me. That was super huge for me because coming out of the relationship that I was in, I recognized that I wasn't ready for marriage. I wanted to be married.
Wait.
Okay, let's reel it back in.
Because somebody needs to hear that. You recognize what?
I wasn't ready for marriage.
How did you know that?
Oh man, there were some good things that came out of my last relationship, and he was a very honest guy. Right. He told me everything that, the guys don't like to tell the women the things that's going to make them cry.
Right.
Or make them feel some kind of way, but he wasn't shy about telling me.
Right.
The areas that he saw. And there was some truth in it, and there was some that wasn't so true.
Right.
But I was mature enough to take what I needed to take from that, and I could also see his response to things that I did. Mm-hmm. And so that made me want to be better.
I love it.
And I also needed to know my worth. And I needed to do some work on me. So, Dear Future Husband is based off the Proverbs 31 woman, which is the virtuous, the righteous woman that King Lemuel's mom really was talking to him about.
Yes.
The woman, is there a righteous and virtuous woman? I mean, we do have different qualities of that woman, but I really wanted to study how could I be that virtuous woman? How could I ask for the partner that I was looking for if I wasn't even it? So
somebody feed her. Just change your shoes, honey. Listen, she said, how could I ask for the partner I'm looking for when I wasn't even it? So you went to work being honest with yourself by first being humble enough to take some criticism from a person who probably wasn't as kind, but that's hard for us to do sometimes. And that is a great mature place. And something I had to later arrive to, learning how to be still and realize you can't see your own nose.
No.
I said that for real because you need a mirror.
Yeah.
Right? You need a mirror. The mirrors are not always so pretty and cute, but they work, right?
Yeah, they do.
So we're heading to a wrap up in a minute. I love this podcast, by the way. I just believe it's going to get even more to the wire as she brings different guests on. But I love digging into her business, don't you?
She sure does.
And so with us wrapping up, she has this little thing that she does with everybody, and it's my turn.
Okay.
She likes to do this whole rapid fire questions of 5 questions. I get 5.
I don't know. Does she get 5?
I don't know.
Depends on the question.
Okay.
We'll see.
So I get to throw any question that comes to mind. And she does it to everyone else. And it is so unnerving. So
ready.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's see what
Let's
it'll
do
say. Aha. Aha.
Aha.
Okay. So, do you feel like you're ready now to be a wife?
Oh, definitely. Listen, let me clear. You can be ready and you still got to be ready when you get married, because that's a whole nother level.
Well, you know,
Okay.
I know. You gotta do the work
she
in
knows.
It. You got to do the work in it.
But I'm definitely in a better mindset, and I definitely understand what I'm getting into a little bit more than before. So yes, I would say I'm there. So yes.
So this is going to be really personal and
Lord.
and pretty weird for me to be asking, but who knows who's watching? Who knows? What's your ideal husband look like?
Ooh, darn, that's such a hard. Well, the first
when he walked through this door right now, how will we know that's your husband?
Oh my God! First of all, gotta love God. Gotta be a praying man. He has to be a leader. I definitely want someone taller than me. I'm looking for someone who's comfortable in their own skin and they won't feel intimidated by what I bring to the table. I think that's important because I've got a lot to say and do. That's good. I also want a partner that understands that, so we can definitely support each other and, be there for each other.
I like that.
So
I got that. So I understand the wanting that. And so here's another one for you.
Okay.
How important it is for a woman in power to submit to a woman in power?
Ooh, I love that question because women get crazy when they hear the word submit.
Right.
Ooh, whether it's being submissive to the man or submitting to another woman. I'll put it like this. We all have to encourage and build each other up. We all have different gifts and talents. Right. And so we have to know our lane, know our space, know our timing, and also be open to receive, because you just never know what you'll get from that. When we come in, you're all powerhouses. You're all women of strength. Yes, we know that. We get that. But then sometimes we got to dial that back a little and listen. Listen, be observant. Yes. Take it all in, because you know what? You can't always be the firecracker that's going off in the room. Like, there's a lot of firecrackers in the room. How are we going to get to know what this person or that person has to bring to the table? And a lot of times we miss our resources because we're in that ego mode of, I'm the boss, I'm the wife, I'm the mom, I'm the boss, I'm the this, I'm the, and it's like, yes, but you want help, and we cannot do this on our own. And so I believe, like, for you, one of the things that I love about you is that you said, I don't care if you get bigger than me. I don't care if you go past me. And I was like, what? Which woman is saying that in this time? Like, you don't hear a woman saying that, because most women, it's either a competition or they're comparing, or, they're eyeballing you to see, like, oh, what she got. And we don't need that. We just need to collaborate and work together. So that's my thought.
Yeah, because I have this thought. And my thought is, it's a compliment the larger you get.
Yes.
Right? And so, last one.
Oh, there's more? Oh my goodness.
One more.
Okay.
If you had one prayer, one prayer for your son, Jaden, what would it be?
Oh
I made him last because he's a sweetheart.
So there's one thing that I always pray, and I know God is doing something amazing in him and is going to use him mightily in a way. What I love is that my son knows God, and we talk on the phone, and he prays, and I keep him in check and keep checking on him. Right. Like, make sure you're praying. And he's like, Mommy, I do. The other day he forwarded a scripture to me, and I was like, look at my son.
Amen.
He's 11 years old, and he's so much more mature than his age, really. And I feel like that's just because God he's already seen some stuff and done some stuff. Right. And just even the separation from me is also something he's gonna deal with. Right. But God is gonna be doing some amazing things. And I just pray that God just continues to just use him, protect him, and just keep him in his arms, wrapped up tight, so that he can actually fulfill what God's gonna use him for.
Well, you heard it. And I just wanted to send this shout out to Jaden, because this is all about you today, baby. And so this has been really great. A great time. So I'm not in trouble?
No, you did wonderful. I didn't, you hijacked it, but you hijacked it real good.
Good. So I might do this about 10 times. I'm just playing. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on to the podcast. Even when you saw me in the boss's seat, I'm so glad.
She's
Share
a boss
this with
too.
somebody. This is going to be great. I'm expecting more. Until next time.
Peace out. Bye.